Hello everyone, sorry I'm a little bit late. Pretty much I was making a cup of tea, I'll be totally honest. So we will go ahead and get started in a moment. I'll just do the quick usual, invite a few of you along. It's lovely weather today still. So what I'm going to be doing today is a mini canvas board like I did before, but with some different techniques. We're going to be using some crackle paste today. We're going to be using some of our imagination crafts items. We've got the new AALL stamps. I've got some Lindy sprays. I've got some of the glitter paste. We've got wax. I've got a few different things out, and I might not use them all. We'll see how it goes. So we'll go ahead and get started in a second. Let's just invite a bunch of you. Yeah, he had a bit of a disaster a second ago. I was trying to put my camera up, my phone up, and it flew off the chair. Nearly smashed my phone to bits. That's not good. Okay, I'm just going to hope that the rest of you find me. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Isha. Okay, so let's turn the camera around. And I'll get you put up in the frame, so excuse me a moment. Whoops. On the volume button. Okay, let's get this sorted. So, to speed up time, because it takes a long time, I've gone ahead and already done the crackle paste. So the crackle paste I'm using today is the one that we sell, the Deco Art Media crackle paste. Let's get started. Yeah, let's get started. So unfortunately this brand, if you're an impatient person, you cannot dry it with a heat gun. It needs to be left to dry on its own. I did try it, and then I added some more after, but I'll show you here. Like, here's where it was just left, and then here where I've tried to dry on a thicker bit, nothing's happened. So you get nothing pretty much. Hi Mike. If you try to use the heat gun. Then here's the second one I did, and I just left this. This was left about an hour and 15 minutes, and you can see the lovely crackles there. The thicker you do it, apparently, the bigger the crackles you'll get, but obviously that will take longer to dry. So this was through a stencil. It's one of the Imagination Craft stencils. It's called QWERTY, so it's one of my favourites. Okay, so I've done that. Next, what I'm going to do, the light's not great in here, is it? Let me just turn the light on today. It seems a bit dark. That's a bit better. Whoops. Okay, so you can see that better now. There we go. So nice crackles showing up there. So this has just been left to dry on its own. What I'm going to do now, we've moved that out of the way. Got our AALL stamp. So this is this one of the border stamps, number 81. There's loads of different ones, smaller, bigger, A6 borders, A4. Different ones. So I have been using this, so this has got ink on it, so don't worry that it looks a bit blurry. That's my ink on there. So super detailed, great for anything like this. Now I'm either gonna try, no, what I've got here is my jelly plate packaging, so I'm gonna pop this onto here. Let's see if this works. So what I'm going to do with this time is a bit of embossing. They're super sticky. Super sticky. Now I want to go in this area that I left blank, because just so the stamping would go on easier. Ooh, what have I got there? Something's stuck on here. Let me just give this a wipe. Oh, anything's stuck to it. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. So what I need to do, I'll line it up on a bit of my jelly plate. I'm just using my jelly plate like a big stamp block basically. And then I'm going to get Versamark. So I'm going to be using clear embossing powder because what I'm wanting to do is create a resist for when I start adding my inks. I'm going to be using a lot of ink sprays. So clear embossing will create this resist effect. So I'm going to go for the bee and the butterfly. So I'm just, you want to make sure you get this really sticky when you do embossing. So be quite heavy-handed with the ink. Let's move this over a little bit. So I'm on the flat bit. There we go. So yeah, really be quite heavy-handed with this. Otherwise the embossing powder won't have anything to stick to. Let me get all that nice detail in. Okay, then we're going to bring back the canvas. And we're going to flip this over. And because this is clear, this is quite handy, so I can see through. Okay, we're going to go somewhere like that. And then I'm going to do, I think it was Joanna said this idea, using a brayer just over the top to really press that down. Haha, there's still black ink on my thing. That's okay. That's not to worry. So the black ink is where I haven't cleaned my stamp properly. Whoops. But you can see that shiny texture now where I've just used the embossing ink. So the one I'm using is a Versamark. We've got some Tim Holtz ones in stock too. And I'm going to take a clear embossing powder. We have got some clear embossing powder. Sprinkle that over the whole area where I've just stamped. So really give it a good coat. And then you put something under this when you do this so you don't waste all this. That's pretty good. I can see a nice covering there. So we'll just put that to one side a second. Put something underneath you, then you can tip this back into the jar after so you don't waste all this powder. A bit of paper is better because you don't get static. But I've just had this down anyway. So yeah, paper's less static so the powder won't stick to there. So you've got a little bit of waste there. So try to use the paper rather than packaging, but this is just what I had, so that's what I've done. Get this off. Oh, hi Mary. No, I've only just started, don't worry. Not missed anything yet. Okay, so this back, let's just clear up that stamp. So there was quite a lot of ink left on there. Whoops. It's okay, it's only a little bit. And this, you don't have to worry when you heat set this. Once this is stamped, that will just sit there nicely until you're ready. Put my stamp away so we don't lose that sticky. Where did I put the backing? There it is. Okay, let's put that there. So we're going to heat set this now. Whoops, with a heat tool. And you'll get this. This is not advisable to heat on top of plastic. You will melt it. So be careful of your surface. Use a heat mat, preferably underneath. If not, hold it away from the surface you're working on. And you should see the powder turn to a kind of gloss when it's melted. It'll go like water-like kind of texture. I'm hoping this, it looks good, but obviously I'm printing on a textured canvas, so I'm hoping that this is going to have stamped nice enough. It looks alright. Hello Fiona. So I'm just drying this. You can get embossing inks that have like a slight tint, like pink or whatever, so you can see where you've stamped to make it easier to do the heating. I think I've got everywhere. Okay, so that looks good. So that's set now. We'll just give it a minute to dry. What we're going to do next, oops, is hit the camera. No, what we're going to do next is, I've got various things here and I've just realised my error. I don't have any water. Let me just go and grab some water, everyone. I shall be back. Sorry about that, I needed some water. So I've got various ink sprays. These are Lindy's, we've got Imagination Crafts. I've got Lindy's Magical Shaker. And then I've got a couple of the Imagination paints as well. So we're going to add colour now. So where that resist we've just done, that will now resist those ink sprays. So this is when you want to make sure your area's nice and covered. Let's just have a quick drink. Okay, that's nice and dry now. So this is a really lovely colour. This is the magenta from Imagination. So let's move these up so you can see the canvas. Let's move my packaging up. Okay, so this is Magenta Imaginations, and there you go, straight away you can see where the embossing has resisted that ink. So that's brilliant. This one I'm using next, I'll just give them a shake actually, is Prima Donna Purple from Lindy's. And I'm going to go on to the texture paste too. And I've now got Hot Potato Pink from Lindy's. Hello Tony. And I will add a bit of my Lindy's, so you just shake these on, tiny bit, you don't need very much. And once we do this, then we'll give it a dry, because then our texture is going to get too wet, our surface. So just a water spray. And we will move that all around. Whoops. Let's get that moving. Okay. So we've got nice resist going on there. So that did work quite well. And this is not a very even surface, so that's good. I've got some kitchen roll here. Keep these when you dab off. They're really good to separate the layers. You can use them in like your art journals and stuff. So I'm just going to dab that away with some kitchen roll. And we'll give it a dry, and then we'll go in and add some more layers. So again, be careful if you're on plastic. We don't need to completely dry this, just enough that our next layer isn't going to mix all in there and get all dirty colours. That's dry enough, so let's go again. What should we go now? Should we get some of the paints going? So I'm just going to take a bit of paint on my brush, tiny bit. These are very, very thick and pigmented, these imagination paints. So we'll brush a little bit on here at the top. Now this will cover the resist, so we have to be careful we don't lose all this now. And then what I'm going to do is add some water up here to get this moving. They're super, super shimmery, these paints. Okay, can we see how shimmery they are? They're like dance. It's like the Heidi swap. You know how that glitters. So we'll get that moving around. So yeah, I don't want to go too much in those resist areas, so we don't lose all that nice work we've done. So we'll pat that off where we've got the resist there, and we've got that nice glitter there. Lovely. Let's go over the crackle paste area. Whoops. Oh, what have I done here? Left the packaging on there. Okay, brush. Let's just wipe that gold off. So we'll go more colour this area. And we'll get this moving around again. And then we'll go back in with our ink sprays again. So some water. Yeah, nice bright cheerful colours. Summer is coming up, so this is when I start to like my bold colours again. Moving away from the cold colours of winter. So you can see how nicely that moves around, and I've added a lot of water there, and look how pigmented that is still. Okay, let's dab a bit of that off again. Just some of the water. You don't want to lose all the colour. Okay, let's give it a little dry again. We'll move it away from our plastic. We don't want to melt the plastic through the table. Heat resist mat is the safest. Okay, let's get some more colour going now. So we've got some nice glitter there. Let's go in with more of the magicals. Let's get quite a bit there. And we use our spray. Look at that. Lovely, vibrant colour. I'm just going to use my paintbrush to move this a bit where I want it. And it's interesting, the crackle is kind of semi-resisting, so it's tinting but not as much as the plain canvas, so that's quite interesting. I like that. Let's pat a bit off and give it a quick dry. You can see there's no particular skill to this, it's a case of playing around. Okay, I'd like some more purple, I think. Let's have some purple along this edge. Look at that. Lovely. And let's use a bit of our water spray. not really moving. And I'd like some more pink over here. And a bit here. Okay, this time I'm not going to pat it off straight away. Let's see what happens. I'm going to pat here where the embossing is. Okay, and while that's still wet, I'm going to pop some little more Lindy's in this wet bit. Yeah, Lindy's are very vibrant. These are the Starburst sprays, so they're very colourful but very shimmery too. Okay, I need to pat a bit of this off. Okay, what do we think of colours? I would like more yellow. I didn't bring my gold in with me. I'll use some of the pink, I think. Okay, let's wipe this edge as you end up with this kind of nasty, you know, colouring. So this is quite cool. So the embossing we can see is very white, but the where the crackle is tinted kind of the cracks, but the crackle paste itself has stayed quite white. It's really interesting, and we're going to use a wax in a little bit, so that will look nice on there. So I'd like more yellow in this corner. This is nearly finished, this bit. And we're going to move on to the next step. There we go. Let's get a bit more yellow. So, like, it's just a case of playing until you're happy, basically. Okay, I'm happy with that now. So let's move all these out of the way. Just dry this. You could emboss with a coloured embossing powder. It still have the same effect. It'll still resist, but obviously where your embossing is will be coloured rather than the colour of the canvas or your paper underneath. Okay, right. So see, that will be really pretty when dry. It's lovely colours and shimmery, so we don't throw that away. I'll just give my hands a quick wipe. Okay, what are we going to do next? Let's make sure it's fully dry, so we're going to start sticking things on. And if you want that more vibrant, then obviously don't dab the colours off. Just be more patient as you're drying, and that colour will be much bolder. Okay, that's quite dry. What I'm going to do is just do a few flicks of the colour. This will be the purple one on top, just to give us that more vibrant colour. Yay, Mary, that's good. That's what we want to hear. We want to inspire people. That's what it's all about here. So that makes me happy when anyone says that. Okay, and we'll dry that. that's how, if we don't dab them, that's how much more vibrant they are. Okay. Now, I've just realised another error of mine, and I haven't bought my glue. So, I have to go and get my glue. Give me 10 seconds. That'll be more than that. Back. There's me. I thought I was all super organised today, and I'm not. Okay, the things I'm using today are quite thick and textured things, so I'm going to use my heavy body gel today to make sure this sticks properly. So I'm just going to move all these out of the way. So I've got some string. It's like a Hessian twine. It's very thick. Got this Rick Rack jumbo ribbon. That's from Crafty Ribbons. And so is this one, my favourite ones. The glitter ribbons. Got some jewellery wire in kind of teal colour. Thick one. And I've got some... Oh, why every time? What's the name of this? Sisal. And I've got a bit of washi tape as well. I'm not sure. I might use that. Not sure. And I've got a little bit of yellow cotton. So, what shall we do? Let's see. I'm going to add some words and stamped word at the end, for which I need some paper, so we'll sort that out in a minute. Okay, let's see. Let's stick these on first. So I'm gonna have, where shall this go? Don't want to cover up my nice crackle, so let's put this on the edge here. So this looks a bit like it actually looks very smooth today. When you move it around, it looks kind of like cottage cheese. It's not very attractive, but it's fantastic stuff for sticking. You can also use it to thicken stuff. So if you want to make your own custom sort of coloured paste, gel rather, but you want to use an ink, say, that's very thin, this could be the way to do it. Or you want to mix some thin paint in, thickens it up, and it makes your stuff go further. So it's pretty, it's not lovely stuff, but it certainly does its job, and it's a great adhesive. So we'll stick that on. Maybe we'll stick this over the top. Let's just snip a bit off, move it up so you can see. Go for a smaller bit. Yeah, it is great gel. It's just, it just doesn't look very nice. Never smell it. Yeah, it doesn't smell very nice either. And if you do get it on your hands, it's not, I've never found that it's done anything bad to my skin, but it is super, super sticky. So try and get that off as soon as you can. Stick that on top there. And it's great for sticking things like this down. They're don't always behave the best. Okay, come back to that one in a minute. This wire, I like the colour of this, so I'm going to wrap this around our canvas. And we'll tie this at the back. Just knotting it together on the back. so it doesn't come off. Just like that. Okay, and we'll play around with this to get it where we want it. So that's that. Whoops, I've squished the ribbon. There we go. Okay, let's have some of this. I've not planned this, I'm just going with what I feel. Maybe we'll go through the string again. And I'm going to knot this on the back. So knot it on the back, and I'll just snip off some of that excess. Okay, so we've got some texture, so that's quite cool. Now what shall we do? I'd like to sort of tuck things in. I didn't bring any ephemera in with me or anything. I wasn't planning to use that. Do you know what I have got? Got this funky napkin who might actually be really good. It's toucan. It says hola. So let's have him actually. Now I think I'll just have his head, otherwise he'll take over the whole canvas and ruin what we've done already. So we'll cut just his head. So here's his head. We'll peel off the top layer. You can use napkins for decoupage. Just remember to separate the picture layer. Otherwise, when you glue that, that's going to come apart. So we'll firstly cut around his head. What are we all up to today then? We got any plans, arty or non-arty wise? Anything fun? And be careful with the napkins because sometimes they're triple layer. So I think we'll tuck him. Yeah, see, he looks really good there. And we might have the hola word. Hola, hola. Let's have that as well. This is a little sneaky preview of something actually, this napkin, but I can't tell you about that right now. Come on, open up. So we're going to have this word, I think, if it's not too big. No, that's fine. And I'll leave a bit of the colour around. Now this you could glue with a much thinner glue, obviously. But as I've already got this glue out, this one will do. So we'll put it onto the canvas because the paper is very thin. So if I tried to spread this onto the back of the paper, I would more than likely just rip it. Oh, we don't want all that on there. A bit here for his beak. You've been rock painting again. Nice, Mary. Seems very trendy at the moment, rock painting. I see a lot of people doing it, so that's cool. I've seen a lot of groups for kids to do it as well, so that's nice. Something to get. Oh, look at that! I pulled his nose off. Should have put this on first before the string, but I didn't think of it until after. That's okay. I'll fix it. Sorry, we lost signal there. One signal. My back, can you all see me again? Oh, I've broken his nose a little bit there. That's okay. Hopefully you can see me again now. Okay, that's there. Then we're going to tuck this in here. I had a crop at the weekend, and you may have seen, I think it was 7 layouts I made in the end. Madness. And then I was absolutely exhausted last night. It was great fun though. I don't know why it ended up being 7. I got home and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to make some more. So yeah, I really had a very productive weekend. I will be doing some you know, giving you some blog posts about some of those in a bit more detail. Okay, so here is our little man. That looks quite good. I'm not sure about this bit yet. I think I might grab some flowers. So let's have a little bit of this. I'm going to pop a bit of sisal down underneath the toucan. I'm just rolling that between my hands. And we just trim off the bits we don't like. And we'll stick this down here. And then we'll manipulate it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to get some flowers, which are luckily just by me. Loads of flowers. Loads and loads of flowers. I love flowers. They go with everything. Should we have some nice kind of tropically looking flowers? Let's have this one. This one. This one. That's too big. The little glittery one. Excuse the noise, sorry, I'm rummaging. And one little one, and then that should do. We're going to overpower the canvas. It's only small, so we don't want to put too much on. Okay, let's sort these flowers out. So let's put this one on the bottom. And we'll put this one inside. Then we'll go to this one. So I just, yeah, personally love flowers, and I'm so excited to get my next delivery. There's a Prima range out at the moment that has these most fantastic tropical flowers in. It's the Havana range, and I've ordered some of those. So I thought they'd be great for you to add to your summery projects. So maybe, I don't like where this bit crosses, so maybe we're going to stick this flower over that bit. I need a bit here to go in that gap. That's the other good thing about this, it's very heavy bodied, so it will fill in gaps and sit there nicely. And we need a little flower to go in the middle of there. Okay. There we go. Right, now this needs something here to balance that, like a triangle. I guess I probably got this from Chamel, but it does definitely work. This idea of where your focus point is on your project. So this would be our toucan. Kind of build triangles around to focus where you want the viewer to look, if you like. And it definitely works. You do it with anything, enamel dots, anything. Like I'm using flowers in this example. Okay, I think that we're nearly done. Yeah, and it just kind of focuses the eye where you want it to be. Let's put a little bit of the goldeny string. So we'll just cut a bit of that off, and we'll do the same like with the sisal. We just kind of gather it together and do this kind of thing. And then if you can tie that. Just want something, you know, like a shape that's going to stick out. So we'll stick this under the flower as well. Yeah, so your focus point could be a word or whatever. If you're doing a layout with a photo, obviously your photo is the point where you want them to look. Okay, it's nearly done. To finish, we're going to add, I'm going to use Starlight's white gold wax. These are so soft. They're the most loveliest waxes to use. A lot of waxes, see, it's almost like a paste. It's so soft. A lot of waxes, sometimes you have to get some water in them to soften them up, or you've really got to rub them. So I'm just using my finger. I'm going into that crackle paste, getting all the little cracks there to just kind of bring this out, because it's got a bit lost in the background. So we're just going to bring that back out, and you barely need any, it's so soft. So we're just kind of highlighting, if you like. We're popping out the background again, and we'll go over this some of this resist as well. Let's highlight this corner a little bit. So you can use it to kind of frame as well, so you can go around the edges, just makes it pop a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. I don't want to lose this white, I like that white there. And we'll put some onto the flower. Be careful because this isn't dry yet, the gel that's holding it, so it'll be delicate. So it's great on the edges of flowers. It's really pretty. You see how shimmery it is? So it's got the same kind of mica, I presume it is, like basing as the paints, the bit that makes them shimmery, so they're really glittery. A bit on this flower. Okay, so that's the wax. So Not really used a lot there. Then I think I've got this colour coming because you seem to be enjoying these like I do. This is the Bow Bunny glitter paste we've had, and this is gold, so I think this is on my next order. Don't quote me on that though, but I am definitely ordering it if I haven't already done so. So again, I'm just going to brush some of this around the edges. This gives us a bit of texture and some nice shimmer. You can fill in little sections. Just using my palette knife. You can use a paintbrush, but remember it's adhesive, so do get a bit good wash. Maybe we'll even go on to the string here. So the white of the glue, that will dry clear and you'll be left with just this kind of glitter. Let's go under here. Okay, I think we're done. Not necessarily how I plan to go about this project, but it looks pretty good. I definitely wasn't going to use a napkin. That just came from nowhere. And shall we finish with a couple of little flecks of some colour just on the top? Iridescent, yeah, it's lovely, really shimmery. Let's go with that nice colour that I like, this magenta. So we'll just, oh, that was a bit too much. It's okay. So we'll go on to the flowers. Okay. Oh, and then, well, I was going to add my word from a stamp set, but I've actually got this now, and what I was going to use doesn't go. I was going to use the stamp set from our kit, but now I've gone more of a summary route, so that doesn't work so much. I was going to use You Are My Happiness, but that doesn't go now. I've got this die cut though. The purpose of our lives is to be happy, from the Dalai Lama. I think we'll pop that on. And actually, where that glitter paste is wet, that will hold that. To get it so it sits on the string right there. Woo! Ink spray. There we go. Okay. Purpose of our lives is to be happy. Right, I'll just take you out of the holder and I'll show you properly what it looks like. Okay, let's have a look. There we go. So we've got that embossing resist technique. We've got some decoupage, which was unplanned. We've got some fabrics, some twine and wire. We've got the sisal under the flower. We've got our crackle paste for a stencil, which we left to dry. That was left to dry just over an hour before we started the project. We've got our waxes down on the sides on the flower. We've got our ink sprays obviously over the back there, and there was some paint dribbled as well. Our stamp, obviously we used the stamp to do this resisting, so it was stamped with clear embossing powder. So there we go. Thank you for watching, and any questions, pop them below or message me on the page, group, personally. I don't mind any of those, and I will come back to you. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.